Okay. Are we recording? Well, good day, everyone. Welcome, board members and guests, to the Wednesday, January 24th meeting of the South Placer Regional Transportation Authority. Ask Supervisor Jones to lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And I'll ask Solvi Sable to provide us a roll call.
Broadway.
Here.
Howdeshelt.
Here.
Joyner.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
All right, got a full house.
All right. And item C is approval of minutes of the December 6, 2023 SPRTA meeting.
I'll move approval.
And this is by unanimous consent. We don't need a roll call,
No
right?
roll call needed.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Next takes us to agenda review by our executive director, Matt Click.
Chair, no changes to the agenda.
Thanks very much. Item E is AB 2449 with all of us here.
No action needed.
Okay, great. Then that takes us to public comment. And as I open an item for public comment, those joining us by Zoom webinar can signal they wish to speak by clicking the raise hand button located on the middle bottom portion of the Zoom webinar window. If you're joining over the phone, you can press *9. SPRTA staff will call out individuals one by one who've indicated they wish to speak. If you experience technical difficulties and are unable to provide public comment during the meeting, please email your comment to solvisable at ssabol@pctpa.net. Thank you. Okay, I should have read that before the flag salute.
It's okay.
But,
Chair
you know,
Howdeshelt, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I just wanted you to know that this is not being run by Zoom, so that won't be necessary. So
all right, we're zoomed out today.
we're zoomed out
All right.
today.
All right.
Record. The Zoom link has expired, but we have notice on our meeting agenda that the Zoom link is for the public's convenience only. And in the event that there's a malfunction, the meeting can go forward as noticed. So the public is aware that, public participation at the meeting site might be the only site. So with that, we're noticed okay, even though the Zoom link has expired.
That's
Thank you.
That's an important piece of information, so thank you very much. That takes us to agenda item F, public comment. Persons may address the board on items not on this agenda. Please limit your comment to 3 minutes. Going once, gone. All right, that takes us to item G, the public hearing on the adoption of the Regional Transportation and Air Quality Mitigation Fee Comprehensive Update 2024, and our Deputy Executive Director, Rick Carter, is going to lead us through this.
Good afternoon, Chair and Board. As previously noted in the December meeting, there was an error in Table 14 of the adopted Nexus study. So today we're holding a public hearing to adopt the updated Nexus study. Don Hubbard with GHD will present on the Nexus, and then I will finish up regarding presentation on a couple of associated items with the adoption. So take it away, Don.
Good afternoon. As Rick said,
Excuse me one moment. Why are we getting that on that screen? Sorry to be. All right. Thank you. Thanks for that. Back to you.
very good. As Rick explained, this is a redo of a board action from October with a minor correction that I'll go into in a moment. We've been advised by legal counsel that in the event that a Nexus study needs to be changed in any way, the proper procedure is to redo the board action, and that's what we're here asking you to do. We've already been through all the details of the Nexus study in the October meeting when it was adopted unanimously. So we weren't planning to go through all them now unless you have any questions about them. The short version for any members of the public that may be calling in is that the SPRTA program imposes fees on new development to fund regional transportation improvements. The program's been in place for more than 20 years with periodic updates as needed to account for land use changes and changes in the transportation network. We recently completed an update of the Nexus study as required by law. This was presented to the board in October and was adopted. Unfortunately, there was an error in Table 14 regarding the fees on non-residential projects. The October action was therefore rescinded, and we're back today to show what the correction is and to ask you to adopt the updated version of the Nexus study, including the corrected Table 14. Next slide, please. So what you see here is is a part of Table 14. It's quite a long table. The upper portion is what was in the October version. The middle portion is what's in the January version, and then the bottom part of the slide is the change. So there was a copy-paste error when we did Table 14 in the report. The values were copied from one column when they should have been copied from the adjacent column. When the correct values are used, the fee per 1,000 square feet for non-residential changes very slightly. In some cases, you can see it's $1, $2, something like that. There were a few cases where the change was more substantial, but that's the change. It was a typo. It was a reading from the wrong column. Next slide, please. So we're asking the board to adopt the revised Nexus study, including the findings required by state law, which include various things, including the purpose of the fee, the list of projects, the approval of the fee calculation, all of that, none of that has changed, showing that the fees were reasonable, and approval of using 4 fee tiers for residential development. Again, the residential stuff has not changed at all. And before we ask the board to open the hearing and then take action, Rick has a couple of items he'd like to discuss.
So there's a couple of other items to be adopted associated with the fee in the Nexus. It's the same as was done in October. One of those is a request to authorize the refund of fee credits. Just sort of the quick reminder on this, the JPA agreement allows the locals to have applied local funds to offset the costs. This is done in 9 of the 10 districts, but 4 of those, the dollar values of what those credits are rather low. We have to do a lot of accounting for that to keep track of all this. The average credit on those 4s is about $11 a DUE, so you can see it's fairly minor. And in my opinion, the accounting and tracking of that kind of exceeds the value of that reduction. So there's one of the items to be adopted is to allow the refund of those fee credits on the 4 districts shown. The other thing, the last item is under state law, we are required to adopt a CIP with the Nexus. So we have to essentially re-adopt the CIP. The changes we did in December, there was board action to allocate funds for the Rockland Road interchange. So that change was made in the CIP document that's Exhibit B in the attachment. And again, it's not a budget document, it's just a CIP, it's a regulatory requirement for adopting the Nexus. So this shows that document, and again, that's Exhibit B in the package, and is very similar to what was adopted in October. And then with that, we'll go to the recommended actions. We have to conduct a public hearing to consider an update to the Regional Transportation Air Quality Mitigation Fee, and then approving the refunding of the fee credits for Dry Creek, Newcastle Horseshoe Bar, Placer West, and Rockland fee districts, and then approve a resolution adopting the Nexus Study Update Report and Regional Transportation Air Quality Fee, setting the fees for that program, and then adopting the Capital Improvement Program. And with that, Don and I would be happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Right, I think I have to open the public hearing first and ask if anyone has any comments, and then I'll ask the board if they have any questions. Okay, not Seeing any questions, I'll close the public hearing and ask the board's pleasure.
Mr. Chair, I'll move approval.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, thank you very much. That takes us to item H, our executive director's report.
Nothing in addition to offer, Chair.
All right. Any board direction to staff? Item I? Nope. You have informational items under J. So and our next meeting will be February 28th, 2024. Thank you all. And I'm going to, because Chair Broadway scared me.